Mr. Trump, I suggest you stop your moaning. I could just as easily come back off. You haven't got work tomorrow, have you? How's everyone doing? Everyone good? How you doing under a blood red sky? Thank you. Hello, Lawrence from Heathrow. I am, mate. Thank you very much. Turn the volume on this off. Da, 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 da. All good in the hood. Sweet. RJ, how are you, mate? I've not heard the news, Mr. Trump. Welsh Dragon, how are you, mate? Yeah, I feel much better, thank you. Yeah, I'm good, RJ. Thanks for asking. How you doing, Roger? Robert from West Wales, how are you, mate? Brian, I'm feeling loads better, thank you. There it is. The start of something new. Evening, Ringo. There's a tattooist up the road here. Portside. Portside tattoos. JC Ace. Yeah, I'm alright, mate, thank you. Well, do you know what? Right, I don't see what's stopping people setting up a like a police force of sorts. We have certain rights to detain people, to detain people under citizens arrest and things like that. Do you know what I mean? But the problem is, it's making sure that everybody does what they're supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't overstep that because it's so easy to overstep that. But with an organisation like the police, they should be more on top of people overstepping their boundaries. Do you know what I mean? And doing what they shouldn't be doing, and they should be pissed off out of the police force as soon as anybody realises that they're a danger. But they don't because they like it. They like having people in the police to be like that. I've seen some of the videos suck out. I've not seen loads, but I've seen some. A woman having her legs pulled out from underneath her, pushed on the ground. A bloke who was laying on the ground, active patriot, saw him as he was walking past. Had been punched in the nose by the police. It's sickening, really. Let's face it. If they had, if there was some of them in the crowd with BLM banners, the police probably would have left them alone. And that's not having a dig at people that are black or anything like that. It's a fact. You've got that knobhead, what's his face, Sadiq Khan, calling out protesters from the weekend, going, "Oh, it's out of order. They shouldn't be doing that." Rah, 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 rah. Well, where was you saying all this stuff with all the other protests that were going on? And those other protests want to defund the police. Do you know what I mean? Let's take a knee to the people that want to defund us, but for the people that actually want real policing, and people to be held accountable for what they do, let's beat them up. Nice one, police. Well done. Cricket highlights daily. HD. I've got my own opinions on this whole COVID thing, this whole coronavirus thing. Okay, I don't expect everybody to agree with my views, the same as I obviously don't agree with everyone else's views. Personally, I don't think it is anywhere near as bad as being made out. I don't think going to a protest is going to make a blind bit of difference. Do you know what I mean? You can't stop people from doing what they're allowed to do. You shouldn't stop people from doing what they're allowed to do. It's proven that the death rate from COVID is way lower than having the shits. There are more people that die from the shits each day than have died from COVID. I mean, that's got to tell you something. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, older people are going to be susceptible if they've got lower immune systems, younger people as well, not as much as the older people. But, unfortunately, people die. You can do what you can to mitigate that in some cases, but you can't wrap people up in a fucking plastic bubble and expect them to breathe their own air for the next 12 months, 24 months, however long they're going to push this for. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you can put a mask on, but again, a mask is not really going to make that much of a difference, in my opinion. Okay, I understand why people feel that putting a mask on is going to protect them, but the virus is so tiny, so tiny, even on the packets, even on the boxes of the masks. And I'm not telling people not to wear them, by the way, because personally, I think a lot of this is a psychological thing. Okay, if you feel safer wearing a mask, then by all means wear a mask. I'm not going to take the piss out of somebody because they want to wear a mask because they feel safer. Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to, or you haven't got to, but from my point of view, virus particles are so small. Even if the mask stops some of the spittle, okay, some of the saliva particles or whatever coming out, you're still going to get particles of COVID get through the mask. Can't be mitigated completely. So those people who would die are probably still going to die anyway. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I've got family that are old and all sorts, you know what I mean? But if the only way, and it's nothing to do with the fucking vaccine either, but the only way that you can mitigate against catching something completely is if you stay indoors, put tape around all the windows and doors and everything else, right? And not leave your home ever. And have nobody come round, have no post sent to your house, have nothing at all. It's the only way you're going to get through this without, being scathed by it. Yeah, it might slow down spittle. I'm not. That's what I said. It will stop some of it coming out. Absolutely. I don't deny that whatsoever. Okay, but every single person who's wearing a mask is still going to be producing, if they've got coronavirus, particles that escape into the air. You cannot get around that. Do you know what I mean? There might be less particles of coronavirus floating around, but it only takes one. You know what I mean? So there's no way you can mitigate it completely. See what I mean? And even with a mask on and you're breathing, you've got gaps at the side and you've got gaps at the top here. I'm not going to go into this where people are blowing smoke through the masks because that, smoke particles are irrelevant, I think. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I think the whole smoke thing's irrelevant. But as you're breathing, stuff's going to come out the sides and stuff's going to come out the top, and some will escape through the mask. I don't in any way believe it's going to escape as much as breathing smoke through a mask will, but some will. And it only takes one viral particle to take hold. So again, if people want to wear a mask, then I will support them doing that. I'm not going to take the piss out of people for wearing a mask, because that's what it's the same as I won't take the piss out of other people's opinions if somebody doesn't agree with me. Um, but even the people wearing masks, most people must know by now that what we've been told is completely over exaggerated. Completely over exaggerated. Well, suck out. That's one of the things that I've been saying. If you are doing everything that you can, if you're a person that believes that wearing a mask is going to help you, and I'm not saying it's not, by the way. I'm just saying I don't think it helps as much as the government are trying to make out. And again, I'm not a virologist or I'm not anybody of any importance really. Do you know what I mean? But I do know that it's not going to stop it completely, and people are still going to get it. If they're going to get it because they're susceptible to it, then they're going to get it one way or another, unless they lock themselves up. And even if they lock themselves up, the postie, okay, think about the post office, all of them first class deliveries. I don't know how long the virus will last on a piece of paper. Do you know what I mean? An envelope. Say somebody's got COVID, they put a letter in the post, okay, first class delivery, next day delivery, and that is now touching everything else in the postman's bag as it goes through the sorting office, infecting other things, right? And then it comes to your door. If it's on there, you're going to get it if you're susceptible to it. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're indoors and you think you're safe, you're not, because you're going to be touching stuff that's brought to your house that may have been touched or coughed on or whatever by somebody with COVID. So one way or another, people are going to get it if they're susceptible to getting it, in my opinion. How you doing, AB? Sorry, mate, I didn't see you there. It reduces it by 97%. See, I don't believe it does. I don't believe, and again, this is my belief. Okay, I've got nothing to back it up. This is my belief. I don't believe it does by that much. I mean, Dominic Raab was on Sky the other day talking to somebody, and he said, out of the tests, okay, only 7% of the tests, okay, are genuine cases. Only 7%. Okay, the rest of them are false positives. Okay, and so there is no way of knowing whether the mask is doing what people say it's doing. Especially, you look at all the people that are wearing masks now, and cases are supposed to be going up. Well, if cases are going up and loads of people are wearing masks, more people are wearing masks now than when it first started. If cases are going up again, then why? If people are wearing masks, what's that? Hello, Ash. How are you, mate? My apologies. How you doing, Ash? That, Darren, you're right there. You're absolutely right. I see people wearing their masks in their car. Right, I've seen people pull up to traffic lights wearing their mask, put their hand underneath it, and give their nose a scratch. Okay, that's going to do a lot. Do you know what I mean? Most, from my opinion, from what I've seen, from what I've read, most of the masks are going to offer very little protection. They say on the box that they don't prevent, you know, I can't remember what the exact wording is now, but it's got a warning on the box. Okay, again, it's my opinion. I will accept anybody's opinion, and I'll listen to anybody's opinion. As everybody that's that's been following this channel for any amount of time will know, that I will rather discuss things with people, and I'd rather hear people's opinions and debate it. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think that it's. In fact, I know it's not as bad as being made out. If it was, there'd still be people dying in their droves, and they're not. That's why the government has now moved over to using the word cases rather than deaths. You know what I mean? And very few people were picking up on it, apart from people that have got their eyes open. The entire reason they've moved over to cases now is simply because the numbers are bigger and it can be used to scaremonger. I double D. That, to be honest, it's. Let me try something. Hang on. Right, I've just turned the gain up on the microphone a little bit. Is that a little bit better? I am talking a little quieter at the moment because upstairs, little one is their bedrooms there. But is the volume a bit better now? Dave Barker, how are you, mate? Watch Politico on YouTube about Sweden's lockdown. Well, I watched something on one of I think it was Talk Radio. I watched a video earlier. I shared it on my Facebook page. The They obviously they haven't gone to extremes that we have, and yet they are, I believe, the country with the lowest cases and lowest deaths. You know, if there is something dangerous and deadly, okay, you cannot protect everybody. Can't do it. Absolutely not going to happen. People need to make horrific decisions when you've got something as dangerous as a virus that's rampant, or even a war. You cannot save everybody. Unfortunately, some people will die and you won't be able to protect them. You won't be able to save them. Okay? Life, that's life, unfortunately, as horrible as it is. So whether people are locked down or not, as I said earlier, people that are susceptible are going to catch it one way or another. And if they're one of those people that unfortunately cannot handle the infection, then they're going to die. The cops are immune, yeah. The virus must be scared of them. Scared it's going to get gassed and beaten up. Right. I said the other day, because I got my tattoo done, didn't I? My new one. I'll show you again. That's the new tattoo. Now, I've been thinking about an idea, because I said that once I get to 50,000 subscribers, I am going to get a Pap inspired tattoo. And I've figured out what I'm going to get. And it's to go with this, because I want to get a sleeve on this arm. I mean, I've got a tattoo at the top there. I mean, that's 20 odd years old, that one now, 22 years. So I'll probably get that covered up. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep with the skull theme, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a skull with wearing a police helmet. Okay, so I'm going to get a skull wearing a police helmet, and the badge there is going to be the channel logo, and I'm going to have that done on there on my forearm. How you doing, Tom? Nice to have you on again. Why the skull? I just like the skulls. I've got some rings in the other room, some skull rings, a bit like Jack Sparrow, a bit like Jack Sparrow rings. Um, what do I think the military will do if they get drafted in to support the police? I unfortunately I think they'll do what they're asked to do because they're used to taking orders, aren't they? They're from the moment they're drafted, enlisted, whatever you want to call it. They are they're taught to follow orders. So there's very few that I think would turn around and go, no, no, these are the people we're supposed to protect. And you can see that in other countries as well when the military is called in to deal with people. You're right, Winston. You're absolutely right. Actually, I'm just going to do a lag test here. Oh, that's not too bad. It's only about 6 seconds. That's the result. Hat logo on my forehead. No, what we need, I'll tell you what we need to do. You know, who's ever seen Inglorious Bastards? The film Inglorious Bastards, where they go round carving the swastika into the Nazi's forehead. I think what we need is a group of vigilante tattooists going around tattooing the word pedo on people's foreheads. Hey, DJ Vix. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Evening, James. I brought my mic up a bit, and now it's blocking me from seeing. I've got my new monitor. My new monitor came. It's sitting in front of me. Lovely big thing it is. I'm going to have to get another one. And then I'll have two 24-inch monitors for somebody. The audio's messed up. Oh, you're right, it has. It shouldn't be the microphone. All I've done was moved there's a leave her on the stand. That's all I've done. It could be. What's going on? Hold on. Getting worse. Still doing it. Right, hang on a sec. Wrong one. Right. No. No, it's still playing up. The hell? That's getting on my tits now. Alright, I'm going to have to change the microphone. Give us a second. That won't work. I'll have to. Oh, God. Sorry, folks. I can't see your comments at the moment. I'm trying to sort out a different mic. What the hell's wrong with that? that. Oh my good God,